All right, good evening, good evening. I don't hear anything. Good evening, everyone. As we jump on our training call for this evening, I can't hear anything.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome. I usually hear some background. All right, well, as you dial in and join us on our training call for this evening, go ahead and state your name and the city in which you're dialing in from.
My name is Mytika Robles, and I'm dialing in from Denver, Colorado.
All right, welcome Denver. Who else? Y'all come on in and let's see your shining, your faces. Let's see those smiles. We respond better when we see your face. So come on. Your hair pulled back, I understand.
Coach Juarez White dialing in from Houston, Texas.
All right, welcome, Coach White. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
This is Mytika. I just wanted y'all to know I am from Texas. I just live in Denver. Don't get that twisted, Houston. I see you though.
All right then. Oh, good to see your face. Good to see your face. Come on. Go ahead and give me your name and your city in which you're dialing in from as you join in.
Hello, I'm LaShawna Craig. I'm dialing in from Dallas, Texas. I'm a guest of Miss Robles.
All right, Miss Craig, welcome in. Glad to have you this evening.
Whoop, whoop.
Who else we have? I see you. You're just not saying anything. That's all right. Y'all come on.
This is Amber Jenkins. I'm a guest of Tracy Fisher.
All right, welcome to the call. You're in for a treat. Thank you for joining us. All right, you definitely want to grab paper and pencil. This will be our weekly training call, our mastermind call, and you don't want to chance it thinking that you're going to remember everything. You definitely want to put it on paper. So as you dial in and as you're gathering your paper and pen, go ahead and state your name, the city in which you're calling in from.
Hello, this is Shantella Kinchen calling from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right, welcome, Shantella.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Again, grab paper and pen. Y'all get ready. I feel a little fire is about to happen, or maybe I'm just warm, but I think it's gonna be a little fire tonight. We usually get fire on Monday night, so just get ready for it. As you dial in, as you connect with us, go ahead and state your name and city in which you're calling in from.
Out of Ferguson from Dallas, but I'm calling in from New Hampshire tonight.
All right, you all over the place. Well, we welcome you from wherever you're calling in from.
Hey there, it's Diana Herron from Dallas.
Hey, Diana from Dallas, welcome. Again, you want to grab paper and pen on tonight, ready to take some copious notes. We have about 45 seconds before we get started here. All right, anyone else that have dialed in, come on and state your name and the city in which you're calling in from.
Hey, partners, Tracy Fisher's out of Houston.
Hello there, Mr. Fisher, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, again, you want to grab paper and pen and position yourself in a quiet area as much as possible. I know we're working from home where you don't have any background noise or people are disturbing you. Grab paper and pen because the information will be life changing on our training call for tonight. Absolutely. So let's go ahead on and get started. We know that we're going to have people that are going to come and join us later, but I've been given the privilege and the honor of introducing our trainer and speaker for this evening. You know, this gentleman him and his wife have 15 plus years of experience in the direct sales marketing industry. You know, he's been featured in Success from Home magazine. He's been inducted into the Network Pro $1 Million Hall of Fame. He's built combined organizations of thousands of distributors across countries, across 23 different countries. And just for example, in previous companies, they've been featured in the top 50 income, and he became a millionaire by the age of 30. But in our present company, it works. We have another distinguished niche that we need to add to him. We're so proud, and him and his wife, Portia, they've ranked number 89 out of the top 200 income money earners in It Works. That is such a significant, number. We're definitely proud of him because we're talking about the top 200 among thousands of distributors in It Works. And so we're so proud of him to be ranked him and his wife to be ranked number 89 out of the top 200. So he's no stranger to success. So without any further ado, let me introduce to you my friend and business partner, Mr. Jarrod Wilkins. Mr. Wilkins, take it away, sir.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. Take it.
Well, I hadn't seen y'all in forever. Just kidding. For those of you that joined us on the 7 o'clock opportunity call, man, how many of y'all enjoyed that by show of hands? Come on to the cameras. I know you got your rollers in your hair, your kids in one hand and all that. How many of y'all enjoyed Conversations with Entrepreneurs tonight? That's kind of the flow and the style of how we're going to be flowing with these sessions this week here. It's absolutely incredible rocking with you guys. I'm really excited about tonight's mastermind session. I truly am. I've been looking forward to this for the last week here, just to get back and really have this discussion about so many different things, so many different moving parts to our business and to our company. But first of all, let me say thank you so much, Coach Vivian White, stepping in, that incredible introduction, bringing the energy. And I don't take for granted the level of professionalism that you and your husband bring to our organization. You bring to this company, the friendship, the relationship that we've had and we continue to develop. I don't take that for granted at all. You know, one of the things that I've learned in business and even in life is it's really about relationships. And every season of our life reveals the type of relationships that we have. And one of the things that I heard many years ago, a mentor of mine told me, he said, you know, people can out, market me. They can out advertise me. They can learn different systems and different skill sets. And at the time, he was earning over $1 million a month as a distributor in network marketing. This was back in 2012, 2013. And there was something that he said at a conference that I was in attendance that really stood out to me. He said, they can out-market me, they can out-promote me, they can outspin me, they can out-system me, they can out-social media market and all those types of things. But one thing people cannot do is out-friend me. And I thought about that when he said it, and the truth of the matter was, I was like, bro, you ain't got no friends. I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't got no real friends. And I said that knowing him and knowing how small his circle was. And it wasn't until years later on that I understood what he meant. And it's exactly what Maya Angelou said. She says, people will forget what you said. I want you to start your notes with this. She says, people will forget what you said. Some will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. People will never forget how you made them feel. It's been a lesson in leadership for me It's been a growth area for me because as a driving driver, A-type thinker, A-type personality, it's all about what am I doing, you know, what have I done, what have I said to a person, those types of things. But the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to our business, is how we are making people feel. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to talk about going from enrollment to engagement. The bridge between enrollment to engagement is a feeling. Are you listening to me tonight? The bridge between enrollment to engagement is a feeling. Enrolling a bunch of people into the business is very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, I was running some data yesterday over the last couple of days, just tracking the growth of our organization, tracking the growth of this team. And I appreciate all those great things and kind things you said about me, Coach White, Coach Vivian White, and about my wife and myself. And you know what? Thank you so much for those. I appreciate it. And we're excited about that. We don't take it for granted. You know, you've heard Mark Pentecost all week long talking about being proud of what you've achieved, but not being defined by what you've achieved when it comes to being, you're more than a number when it comes to the top 200 list. And I know in our type of business or any type of sales environment, there's always a level of competition, whether it's competing against your previous best, or there's some people that compete against each other. It's just the nature of life, right? But one of the things that I pride myself on as a leader is being an example of what's possible, an example of what's attainable, an example of what's achievable. And for this team to be recognized last week out of hundreds of thousands of people for being the 89th highest earning team in this company. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true blessing. I am nothing without God. I know that all of the blessings that all of us are achieving and receiving, it is a result of God, because the scripture says all promotion comes from God. And I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just giving you what my personal beliefs and philosophies are, because, you know, it's amazing what has taken place. I was looking at some data of what has happened just in the first 10 days alone of August. Ladies and gentlemen, it is miraculous. We've enrolled over 500 people already. It's the 10th. That's about, on average, we're enrolling about 50 people a day into the business. Over 50 people a day. Ladies and gentlemen, put in the comments, my time is coming. Many of you listening to me right now, that's going to be your business. That's going to be your story. I remember hearing stories like this coming up in this company, and hearing like the enrollments and all of the things that are taking place, the successes that people are having from different backgrounds, different walks of life, individuals that have never been involved in network marketing, people that have never done this before, and sitting there saying, oh, our time is coming. Our time is coming. And because I put that out there, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I like what Tracy just said. My time is now. I love that. My time is now. It's not coming. It's now. And declare that. And keep speaking that. Keep saying that. Keep putting that out there. Why? Because it is now. The time is now. Everything that happens in the natural first happened in the spirit. Everything that happens in the natural happened in the spirit. I remember being at a leadership conference several years ago, and we were having a conversation about why certain people have the success that they have. And one of the things, we were in a binary structure. And I remember tonight's topic is about going from enrollment to engagement. I want to talk to you about how to multiply the business, why it works, why it multiplies. Not just the how. I'm going to cover some of the how. And the how is always about strategy and structure. But why it multiplies is the spirit in which it's done. You ever get into a conversation with your spouse, those of you married, those of you in relationship, and they tell you it's not what you said, it's how you said it? How many of us been there before? We've all been, either the perpetrator or the victim of it. Like, what you said was right, but it was how you said it. I never forget a leader and mentor of mine said, you've got to learn how to bubble wrap your words. Got to learn how to bubble wrap your words so that they're delivered properly and don't fall on deaf ears. But I remember sitting in that conference and we were talking about why people have success. We're talking about why people achieve and why people win and why this person was winning. And we were in a binary structure. And, for us, you got to remember, I was in my 20s. I was early in my career. And I just, I'm just one of those guys that I look for all of the idiosyncrasies to justify why this person is succeeding and why that person is not. And that's just how I was built. That's just what it was back then. And I'll never forget sitting there making a case in an argument and bringing in buddies of mine to kind of, cheer us on with why the stance that we had was the truth. And, one of my buddies, Brett, I'll never forget, we were sitting there and we said, oh, he's successful because what was being told to us. Remember, I told you the difference between, or the bridge between enrollment and engagement is a feeling. And when you don't have the right feelings, when people don't have the right feelings, multiplication is difficult to happen. But we were sitting there and we were talking, ladies and gentlemen. I said, Brett says, well, the reason why he's $1 million a year earner, the reason why that person is $1 million ring earner, and the reason why this guy's making $100,000 a month, and the reason why that guy's making $200,000 a month is because they've got a strong side. They've got a power leg. Now, some of you that are, new to network marketing, I know, you're like, well, what is that? I know Tracy Fisher knows what I'm talking about, the Vivian and Juarez, they know what I'm talking about. Some of you that are on here know what I'm talking about. But basically, a power leg meant that, you had two teams that you were building, and maybe you had a great sponsor or great upline that, placed somebody down below one of your teams, and it just took off. It had hundreds or thousands of people under it on one side, and all you had to do was put people on the other side, and you could cash in, which was phenomenal. But there were a lot of people, the majority of people, they had to put people on their left, and they had to put people on their right team to actually earn the same type of income. And so the argument that we were making when the question was asked, well, why do you think that person is earning $1 million a year? Why do you think that person is making $2 million and so on and so on? One of the things that we lifted in the conversation was, oh, it's because he's got a power leg, meaning he's got an advantage. The reason why I'm not earning what he's earning is because I've got to build my left and my right. And ladies and gentlemen, we were right. And I'll never forget my mentor saying something to me that's to this day stays with me. Didn't like it when he said it. As a matter of fact, I hated it when he said it. As a matter of fact, I wanted to walk out the room, but I paid $500 to be in the room. So I wasn't finna lose $500 plus meals and expense of the hotel and the flight. So I was like, no, we're going to stay and hear all this, And he says, no matter where you are in life, at some point or another, you made the appointment to be there. No matter where you are in life, at some point or another, you made the appointment to be there. We talked about two things: determining factors and contributing factors. Write that down, please. Determining factors and contributing factors. They're things, situations, people, circumstances that will contribute to your success. All right? I want you to know that there are things, circumstances, situations that will contribute to your success. They are what we call contributing factors. For example, this month, the company ran a promotion. You can join the company for $24, right? $24 in 24 hours. A lot of people, we took advantage of that. How many of us, by show of hands, you took advantage of that promotion like crazy? People joined your teams, folks were enrolling. It's not $100, it's $24. Because I know $100 was a stretch. It's only $24, and there was a sense of urgency with the $24, and people joined like crazy, right? That is what I call a contributing factor to your success. It contributes. It can contribute to you being promoted this month to executive. It can contribute to you being promoted to Ruby. It can contribute to you being promoted to Emerald or Diamond or Double Diamond or Triple Diamond, Presidential Ambassador. That promotion can, and for many of you, is a contributing factor. It's not a determining factor. What determines the promotion? What determines it? Because if that promotion determined your success this month in the business, that means everybody should have the same type of result. What determines it is you. What determines your success is your mentality. What determines your success is your perspective. What determines your success is the spirit in which you approach the situations. Enrollment to engagement. I want to talk about the enrollment process because I was talking with a partner of ours a couple of days ago, and I asked him, when you get a new person started, somebody joins for $24, somebody joined for $99, somebody joined the business and they bought $500 worth of product or $1,000 worth of product, what is your next step with that person? And I was just testing to see what's happening out there in the field. And I got a multiplicity of answers. I got, well, I want to get that person a Ruby. I got, man, I want to get that person an Emerald. I got, man, I want to find out their goals. I want to find out why they got started. And there was a different thing. There were different things that were said back to me. And I said, yes, those are all right. But what is the sequence in which you're doing it? And I was talking with him and I said, here's what I do. When I get John started, he joins. The first thing I want to do with John is I want to get a lifeline done. I'm talking about going from enrollment to engagement, from sign up to sell out. I want to do a lifeline. Remember, the bridge between enrollment to engagement, that bridge is a feeling. Those of you that were just on the call that we did at 7 o'clock, you couldn't help but feel something when Miss Rhonda Jackson talked about what this business has done for her. How many of you know what I'm talking about by show of hands? There was a certain feeling that you got. That's the purpose of a lifeline. It is to give a feeling. Why? Because I want you to write this down. You have 72 hours before a person mentally quits. So I want you to imagine you got an hourglass. Okay? When a person joins, we've got a 72-hour hourglass, and after 72 hours, that person has quit the business. The purpose of the lifeline is to buy you time. I want to elongate that 72 hours. I want to stretch it out as much as possible. So I do a lifeline. Now people are saying, Jarrod, what in the world is a lifeline? A lifeline is where I introduce my new business partner to 1, 2, or 3 people in my support team. Maybe my sponsor, my coach, my mentor, my upline Ruby, my upline Emerald, my upline Diamond, my sponsor, my double, my triple diamond. It doesn't have to be my presidential. It can be leading up to that. Why? Because I want that new partner to hear multiple testimonials, multiple stories, meet multiple people for social proof to build the faith in the feeling that the business is real, they can do it, and they will get some help. So that's my first thing, is I want to give them that feeling. So that's the purpose of the lifeline. So the first thing I will do is I will do a lifeline. Now, the second thing I'm going to do, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got this month, we're going to blow past 2,000 enrollments, maybe even closer to 3,000 enrollments this month. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I know I've gotten messages from leaders already. Man, I'm just so overwhelmed with all this that's going on, all these people joining and all this taking place. But I'm like, guys, you're going to have more people joining, and you've got to have a system and an understanding in place so you don't become overwhelmed. For those of you working in the business part-time, you don't want to become overwhelmed with this. And you become stressed. I want you to write this down. Stress in the business shows up when you don't have strategy and structure in place. Okay? Stress in the business shows up when you don't have strategy and the proper structure. And when I talk about structure in this context, I'm not talking about the structure of your business in terms of, do I have an emerald in this leg and diamond? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my method of operation, like what to do, when to do it, and the know-how in terms of how to navigate through it all. Okay? That's what I mean by strategy and structure to relieve the stress. So that's the first thing. I'm going to do a lifeline. We ought to be having lifelines like crazy right now. Lifelines like crazy, where you're introducing your new distributors to people in your support team. Why? Because I want to build the feeling. I want to build their faith. The second thing I want to do is I want to have a game planning session. There's so many different titles to it. Some people call it game planning session. Some people call it game planning interview. Some people call it a onboarding process. Whatever you call it, it is fine. I just want you to have the strategy and the structure in place of what to do with the new people. Okay? To take them from enrolled to engaged. When you learn how to engage people and you've got an organization or a team that is singing the same song, unified in the same message, what happens is a spirit of multiplication takes place. Give you an example. There was a young man that showed up 3,000 years ago. Started working in the carpentry business. Working with his father in the carpentry business, gets a big dream, gets a big vision. And he goes out first and submits himself. He submits himself to learning from his cousin John. John teaches him several things that would be important to the work that he was assigned to do. After he learns it, he's then tested on what he knows. Won't go so deep into the story. After he passed that test, now to implement the strategy and the structure of what he's going to build so he's not overwhelmed and stressed out, he goes out and does some sponsoring. He sponsors 12 men, not 1,200, not 12,000, 12. Are you listening to me? He sponsors 12. Write this word down, sponsor. Sponsor, write it down, sponsor. Sponsor, sponsor, my sponsor, my sponsor, my sponsor. Sponsor means I am responsible. I'm responsible for my example that I set, and I'm also responsible for teaching you and showing you the system. I am not responsible, listen, for your success. That is too much of a weight for you to carry for somebody else. He recruits 12, not just 12 NEO people. He recruits 12 people that have influence. Some of them own a fishing company. A couple of them are accountants, tax accountants, physicians. He sponsors people that have strengths in areas that he does not have strengths. He never sponsors, listen, another rabbi. He was a rabbi himself. He didn't go out and build a team of all rabbis. Why? I got that. I'm good with that. I know what I'm doing. And that I need people that are experts in who they are and in what they do. They are better than me in what they do. I'll never forget, my aunt told me something that really caught me. And, you know, my aunt's from Nigeria, so she has these African proverbs that she's told to me 20, 30 years ago that still stay with me. She says, Namdi, she never calls me Jarrod. She says, Namdi, all 5 fingers on your hand are equal. They're just not even. Come on, write that there. That's revelation right there. All 5 fingers on our hands are equal. Just ain't even. What does that mean? It means that there's an equal responsibility, significance, and importance in each one of our fingers. Without one of them, you notice and you feel the difference. What the thumb does, the index or the pointing finger does not do. What the middle finger does is different from what the pinky finger does. But think about if you didn't have a pinky finger. It's the smallest finger on your hand. Imagine if you didn't have a pinky finger, what that feels like now. Can you feel, remember, the difference between enrollment and engagement is a what? Feeling. I'm teaching better than y'all respond. You know what? I'm going to end the call. Y'all don't want to talk tonight. Y'all not in the comments. Y'all ain't said nothing. You know, I'm boring you. I know I'm boring you. I know you get this type of teaching everywhere, right? But guys, listen to me. Listen. Are you with me? Look, if Ferguson says, I know it all too well. Exactly. He knows what I'm talking about here from personal experience. All 5 fingers are even. They're just not equal. What if the pinky says, I'm more important than the index finger? No, you are as equally as important as the index finger or as the middle finger pinky, but there's something that the middle finger is designed to do that you don't operate in. Shucks. Come here, Soul Food. Remember the mama from Soul Food? How many of y'all saw the movie Soul Food? She says, when we come together, we can make a fist, and that punch carries more power than any one of our fingers does individually. The purpose of the Lifeline is to involve as many members, come on, as many fingers of your support into the equation so that you can multiply the force, you can multiply the feeling, you can multiply the faith of what's going to happen. Are y'all listening to me? So step number one, we do the lifeline. Step number two, the game planning session. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Jesus didn't recruit other rabbis because he was already that. I got that part. I need physicians. I need tax accountants. I need other people better than me in these areas, because together, everyone achieves more. Together. You follow me? So now, there were things that Matthew could do that Peter couldn't do. There were things that Thomas could do that Judas couldn't do. But they were all even, they're just not equal. Same thing is going to happen in your team. Same thing that's going to happen a part of your organization. You have to have the nimbleness of mind and the liquidity of thought as a leader to be able to discern which one of the fingers is required for the act that you want to perform. When you're texting, shucks, God, I hear you. This ain't even a part of my topic. When you're texting, and Viv, you set this up. You said it was going to be something. I was listening like, okay, guys, it's got to be something. When you're texting, how many of you typically text, come on, with your thumbs? Have you noticed you don't text with your index fingers? Why? That's not the function. That's not the flow that allows you to move fast through that process. Now, does that mean you cannot text with your index? Of course you can. You can text with any one of your fingers. You can text with your pinky. But the functionality of how you flow is in your thumbs. So the function of doing that is so much faster. You've got to have discernment to say, do I move faster with which finger? Do I flow which finger? You got to learn this. And the part of that allows for you to have the structure and the strategy to take people from enrollment to engagement and create that feeling. Are you with me? Right? So now, you got the game planning session. During my game planning session, the purpose for my game planning session, the purpose for my game plan interview is to find out why John has gotten started with the business. Find out why Susan. Find out why Vivian. Find out why Trevon. Find out where Tracy. Find out where Perry. Find out where Jennifer. Find out why Nina. Find out why Rashid. Find out why Wayman. Find out why Mike. Find out why Brandy. Find out why are you getting started, Jerry? WIIFM. That's where people are tuned into. What's in it for me? The feeling. When you listen to them, my purpose, I want to listen to them. Sometimes it may be 5 minutes. Sometimes it may be 10 minutes in terms of that conversation. Sometimes it may be in person. Sometimes it may be over the phone. But sometimes you got to slow down to multiply. Remember in school, you were required doing your math problems to show your work. How many of you remember that? You have to show your work. You have to slow down to show your work. And sometimes, if we're honest, we would get the equation wrong. How many of us remember that in arithmetic? You would still get the equation wrong. And I remember teachers specifically covering things with me and saying, oh, you should have done this, you should have, and they would send me away with this word of advice. You did good, but slow down. Sometimes you got to slow down to get things to speed up. Did you hear me? Sometimes we have to slow down to get the business to speed up. So I slow down to find out why you're getting started. I slow down to find out, about your family. Why? What is it that's causing you? Why did you say yes? The theme of August, the theme of the rest of the year, the theme of what we're doing is, thank you for your yes. I think if we are constantly reminded And we constantly keep that in the forefront of our consciousness, that my yes impacts so many other people, it will humble you to follow not the process, but the formula. There is a formula for failure and success. There's a formula. I talked about this a few nights ago with Broderick, Pastor Broderick. We were talking about the formula for success. There's a formula. We talk about it as a process. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't go to school to learn process. You go to school to learn formulas. You understand that? For example, how many of you, by show of hands, took algebra in school? You took algebra? Watch this. How many of us passed the first time you took it? The first time you took it, you passed. How many of us, need to go to summer? Come on, summer school. You went to summer. Come on, tell the truth, shame the devil. You went to summer school because I had to go to summer school. And they called them remedial classes. Come on, look at that word, remedial. Because I didn't understand the formula. You go through the process to learn the formula. Algebra has equations and letters, meaning it's a language. Algebra is not just arithmetic. Arithmetic is numbers. Algebra is a language. Success is a language that has a formula. All right, Jarrod, prove it. You ever heard this term? You must be dressed for success. How many of you have ever heard that? That's a part of the language to success. It has a language. So with algebra, the key with algebra to solving an algebraic equation or problem is knowing the formula. It was like y equals x1 plus 2, or y equals x squared plus 1. There were certain formulas. And when you learn the formula, you can, here it is, you can plug in different variables. You understand? You can plug in the different variables into the formula, but the variables didn't matter until you learned the formula. I never forget, I failed. I was failing. Why? Because I wasn't paying attention when the professor was teaching the formula. And the thing with algebra is it builds on top of each other. The formula builds on, it's not, Juarez knows what I'm talking about. The formula for algebra, you got to know the basic step 1, step 2, and it's a formula to it. And if you miss number 1 and you come in and learn number 2, you still gonna get the wrong answer. Why? Because it's levels to this. So I went back home. Both my parents are attorneys. They're not masters of anything when it comes to math or algebra. So I took it to my uncle, who's a physician. He's an ophthalmologist. He's an eyeball surgeon. And because there's levels to it, he understood algebra. I'll never forget him sitting me down and saying, Namdi, this is what you do. This is how you do it. And he explained the formula to me. He walked me through the formula. And so I went back doing summer school and I took it from an F. My first test, I think I got like a D+ or C. And I went back to him, said, slow down, do this, this, and this. This is what you missed. And I took the same formula and boom. And over a period of time, I went from an F to an A when I learned the formula. A couple of times I got tricked up because I was using the wrong formula to solve an equation. They're different formulas because this is not a one-size-fits-all. That's the importance of the game planning session. What resonates for one person may not resonate for the other. That's why you've got all of us that are equal, just not even. You understand? And so now you take the process of going through your introduction, where you do your lifeline to introduce. Then you do your game planning session. And during my game planning session, I want to give them the plan of action. Because the next step after my game plan, ladies and gentlemen, is not to take them executive. It's not to take them Ruby. It's not to take them to Emerald. I want to take them to Star Achiever. Now, that's a team recognition. I know we got some other leaders on here as well. Star Achiever means I want to get this new distributor to get their 6 loyal customers. We call it Star Achiever. Why is that important? Well, several reasons. For them, remember, they're tuned in to what's in it for me. When they enroll their 6 loyals, number 1, they become Fast Start bonus qualified. They earn Fast Start bonuses after they enroll their first 2. But we're teaching them to enroll at least 6. So now, number 1, they're Fast Start bonus qualified. Number 2, they get $150 in the shopping spree, right? Because they got the 6. Now they're eligible for the $150. So this is what I'm telling them to incentivize them during my game planning session for why they should go Star Achiever. You should go Star Achiever because number 1, you're going to be Fast Start bonus qualified. Number 2, you're going to get $150 a shopping spree. Number 3, you're going to potentially eliminate your monthly product overhead called auto ship. How do they do that? Well, to receive a monthly check, they got to have 80 BV or 150 PV through their loyal customers. So if they're loyal customers, 6 of them ordered 150 PV combined, then guess what? I've eliminated their overhead. How many of us have people ask us, is they gonna hit my card? Is there a monthly fee? No, they ain't gonna hit your card, baby. I'm gonna show you how to not have the evil It Works enemy hit your card. We're going to have Netflix hit your card. We're going to have Amazon hit your card. We're going to have, all of it, but not It Works. I'm going to show you how not to have It Works hit your card. Become a Star Achiever. Then number 4, we're going to create this is what I'm telling my new distributor, we're going to create a marketing campaign to recognize and award you on social media. Because we create the Star Achiever banner, we tag them in it, we promote them, congratulations. Guess what the people on their social media page see when they see that? Write this down. Most of your friends and family won't start supporting you until strangers start celebrating you. Most of your friends and family won't start supporting you until strangers start celebrating you. So this is a mechanism for that to go into place. Celebration. So now the importance, we get them focused on Star Achiever. Guess what happens? Now they get it done. They get it done in 24 hours. I know Diana, she got in, boom, she got Star Achiever done. I said, uh-oh, we got us somebody. So to you, the coach, to you, the sponsor, when you've got somebody that goes Star Achiever right away, 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, a week, 2 weeks, less than a month, guess what? That's showing you somebody that has gone, hear me, from enrollment to engagement. How do I know they're engaged? They've gone Star Achiever. That is the proof of engagement. My lifeline and my game planning session is to move them to the point to get them engaged to go Star Achiever. Now for you, watch this. For you, the sponsor, they get 6 loyal customers. How much do you earn? $150, right? So you're like, oh, it's just $150. Do that times 10. So let's say you had 10 people, right? Times $150, that's $1,500 bucks. But watch this. They only joined, let's say you did this with 10 people that joined for $24. Think about that. They joined for $24. I did a lifeline with them, did a game planning session with them, got them engaged to get their six loyals. How do they get their 6 loyals? We've got so many different ways to do it. You've got the script, right? To show them how to text that script out, or to call people using that script, or to use host-to-post on their social media to get, because what I want to do is I want to get that person to Star Achiever, because Star Achiever is the key that unlocks the comp plan. Star Achiever. It is the key that unlocks the comp plan. Watch this. Here it is. When they go Star Achiever, when a new distributor becomes Star Achiever, it releases a $150 Fast Start, right? You, the sponsor, get the $150 Fast Start. They get all the other stuff I've talked about. So you talk to them about what they're going to get. Don't talk to them about what you're going to get. Talk to them about what they're going to get. Number one, going to be Fast Start bonus qualified. When you enroll a new distributor, you'll get paid when they get their 2 loyals, their 4 loyals, or their 6 loyals. You're gonna get a $150 shopping spree from the company. You'll be able to buy all the products you want, and not have to go in your pocket or in your bank account to do it. Number 3, you're gonna eliminate your overhead, your monthly overhead, product overhead. It won't be hitting your account. It ain't gonna be no monthly overhead for you. And number 4, we're gonna create a marketing campaign to promote you online. Guess what feeling they have? Do they feel good about it? Of course they do. Now they go out and do it, you made $150. Now watch this. When you become a diamond or above, I want you to put on your business hats for a moment here. You become a diamond or above. Every time a person becomes a Star Achiever, you just mark it. That's 80 as a diamond. $80. Because we're teaching them to get 6. When they enroll their first 2, it releases an $80 diamond leadership bonus. Every single time a new distributor does it. When you get to double diamond, it releases $120. When you get to triple diamond, $135. Presidential diamond, $145. Ambassador diamond, $150. Do you now understand the purpose of going from enrollment to engagement? That feeling that bridges that, slowing down so you can speed up, because now everybody is winning. Your new distributor is winning, the sponsor is winning, the upline is winning. We're all winning in that process. Now here's what happens. Now I'll close out with this. Hopefully you wrote that down so you can implement it. I was talking with a friend of mine the other day about the enormous amount of time many people talk or speak when it comes to the disciples. We spent a lot of time talking about Peter. And we should talk about Peter because Peter, according to scripture, is the only other man outside of Jesus that walked on water. Peter was also the man that denied Christ 3 times. And Peter was also the one that Christ turned the church over to. He turned his life work, empowered it to Peter. Peter, you carry it. So we invest a lot of time talking about Peter. When things go wrong in our business, somebody does something that's contrary to what we think they should do. We talk about Judas. We invest a lot of time talking about Judas. Why? Because Judas betrayed Jesus. We know the story. He sold the brother out for 30 pieces of silver, $3,000 in volume, $30,000 in volume. You sold me out for $30,000 in volume. I spent a lot of time talking about that, about Peter and Judas. Very seldomly do we talk about Matthew. Occasionally we talk about Luke. But I started talking to a buddy of mine. I said, we very seldomly talk about Thomas. And we don't talk about Thomas because if the truth be told, many of us talk about Peter because the ideal is what we want to accomplish and achieve. We talk about Judas because oftentimes we feel we've been betrayed by some people. But the reality is most people, me included, our life in our business identifies a lot of times with Thomas. Thomas, so much so you would think that his first name was Doubting. The man doubted so much that he is known as Doubting Thomas. Doubting is not his first name, but we think his first name is Doubting Thomas. I want to talk for a moment for the next 10 minutes that we've got about doubting Thomas. I want to talk about the doubting Thomas in all of us. Doubt creates distance. Write it down, please. Doubt produces and creates distance. Distance from what, Jarrod? Distance from destiny. If you're at point A and your objective is to get to point B, that's your destiny. You want to get to point B. What keeps you from point B is doubt. Now, the question many of us, like I always ask, is, Thomas, now wait a minute, brother. Thomas, you didn't hear about Jesus. Thomas, you didn't read about Jesus on Facebook. You didn't have to hear about him from somebody. You were with him. Thomas, you were with him for 3.5 years, just like Peter, just like Judas, just like Matthew, just like Mark, just like you was with him. He washed your feet. He fed you. He taught you. He walked with you. You were with Jesus. You saw him. Oh God, you saw him heal the blind. You saw him make the deaf hear. You saw him heal the woman with the issue of blood. You saw him feed the 5,000 with the 2 fish and the 5 barley loaves of bread. You were there. Thomas, you know him. Thomas, I would be okay if that was the end of it. I would be with you, Thomas. I would be like, you know what? I feel you. I'm down too. I come to conference. I've seen all these stories. I've heard the success. I've been around it, but I'm still doubting it. But Thomas, Jesus told you what was going to happen. He told you. He sat up there and guys, here's what they are going to say and do to me. Thomas, you was right there to me. Thomas, you was on the Zoom call. Thomas, you were present. You were in attendance. And Jesus tells Thomas and all of them, here's what's going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't believe this is going to happen. Thomas, I know this is what's going to happen. And after this happens, here's what's going to happen with me. And just like all of us, we hear the word, we hear about these principles, and we hear about these people. We're like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, I got it, yeah, with you, with you, bro, yeah, we in it, me and you, I'm with you, man, we rolling. And when it happened, Thomas goes and hauls off and says, I don't know. I don't know about that, Jesus. Is that you? No, that ain't you. No. You gone, bro. You dead. No, that's not you. And I love this part of it. This is what empowers me. Jesus' response. This is leadership. Whether you're a believer or not believer, I want you to get the principles out. It's a feeling. Watch the greatest leader to hit the earth. Watch his response. Thomas, you've been with me. Thomas, you've seen all that I've done. You ain't got to, you know me. This is me. You saw me flip them tables over in that church. You know I'm crazy. I'm gay. You know you know all of that about me. And Jesus responds and says, all right, Thomas, these are the holes in my hand. Thomas, put your hands in my holes. Oh, God. And what that meant for me was 2 things. Number 1, if you're really about this life, if you're really a leader, the holes, the scars, the wounds validate that you are who you said you are. Most people are impressed by our strengths. They are impacted by our holes. He says, put your hand in my holes. Jesus didn't cuss him out. He ain't, you know what? I'm tired of you. I done told you, you know. No, he says, you know what? My yes is bigger than your doubt. My yes is bigger than you faltering. My yes is bigger than your unbelief. So put your hands in my holes so it can prove to you what I told you was going to happen has indeed come to pass. And Thomas does it. The reason why he told Thomas to do that is because of the distance between Thomas and Jesus. That distance was a doubt creation. Whenever there is distance between mentee and mentor, whenever there's distance between partnerships, whenever there's distance, there will always be doubt. And when that doubt creeps up, when that doubt creeps in, you've got to be willing to put your hands in that person's holes so it can validate and prove what they said would happen does happen. That's the feeling that you've got to give as a leader. That's the feeling that people are searching for. When I look at this team right now, in September, we'll make 2 years that we've been a part of It Works. Actually, October is our first full month, but we enrolled in September and engaged in October fully. And what this team has accomplished, you've got to understand, you've got to see, you've got to see that as God is with us. Are you listening to me? To see all of the success stories that are taking place. You just go down the line of diamonds that are here, that are part of this team. Look at the diamonds that are here. Look at the doubles that are just, you just heard Miss Rhonda Jackson. She got started December 2019, double diamond. I'm not even talking about the diamonds and the doubles and the triples that have come and left. We're still here almost 2 years later with new ones. Look at the double diamonds. Perry and Monica Beasley. You look at the triple diamonds. Look at Tracy and Kay Fisher. Let them show you the holes. Ask them, man, what is this to you? What have the result? What have you been able to do as a result of your yes? What has that done? Look at Stephanie Allen, diamond. Look at what has happened. Look at the triples. Look at Jennifer Nivens to go triple, leave, come back, and get back to triple. Going presidential this month. You've got to at some point say, God is with them. Look at the presidential. Look at Nina and Palmora. Number 114. They went from number 147, 2019, 2020, number 114. You've got to say, God is with them. You look at this organization, 89. Show me another Black man in It Works. Not a presidential, in the top 100, leading top 100 org. Show it to me. God is with this team. I'm telling you, it's not by might, it's not by strength. The Spirit led us here for a reason. And I'm not here to preach to you guys. I'm just telling you what's on my heart. The reason why we're here is for a time such as this. And once you get the Spirit and the formula, I told you there's a formula to success. Faith is the foundation of that formula. Faith is the foundation. Not perfection, but faith is the foundation for the formula. And your faith, our faith, is always going to be on trial, man. A faith that has not been tested is a faith that cannot be trusted. Your faith is going to be tested here. That's if your yes is definitive, and you know that yes is connected to so many people. Listen to me, and I'm done. There are going to be so many people, you mark my words. They're going to be people, many of you, and I told this to several of you already. You're going to be getting emails. I want you to hear me. You're going to be getting text messages. You're going to get phone calls. People are going to stop you in the hallway. People are going to stop you at conference. You won't even be able to identify who they are. There'll be diamonds, double diamonds. There'll be triple diamonds. There'll be presidential diamonds. There will be ambassadors and double ambassadors on your team that the first time they meet you will be at a conference, and they will, oh God, they'll come up to you with tears in their eyes, and they'll tell you, you don't know me. This is my first time meeting you, but I know you. Thank you for saying yes to this. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for your story. I heard your story on a call. And your story kept me from suicide. I heard your story about what you did for your wife. I saw your story of what you did for your kids, and it made me believe. Look at what, here's my wife. She was diagnosed with this, and she was diagnosed with that. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. Look, this is my husband. He was let go, and because of your yes, we are both retired now. You're going to have people email you, text you, partner, thank you. Thank you for your yes. The weight of your yes is never experienced in the now. It's only experienced later. That's why now you must be willing to endure your holes. Because somebody is going to need to put their hands in your hole. And your hole is your story. Your hole is your yes. Your holes are the sacrifices. It is the turbulence, the fight that many of us don't even know about, that we don't see, the struggles, the late nights that you're on the phone, the conversations you're having with your spouse, the conversations you're oftentimes having with yourself. And I'm asking you to fight through those conversations. I've had to have them. But I knew, and I know this yes is connected to the doors that lead to other people's dreams and their destiny. Guys, thank y'all so much. Appreciate this team so much. Each and every single one of you, whether you are a distributor, whether you're an executive, a ruby, an emerald, a diamond, a double diamond, a triple diamond, a presidential diamond ambassador, thank you for your yes. Because every ambassador has a past, and every distributor has a future. God bless you. God bless your families. God most certainly bless your yes.